The rain poured heavily that night, washing the city streets clean but hiding something dark underneath. A lone figure stood under the flickering streetlight, soaked but calm, his eyes scanning every shadow. His name was Ethan Cole, a single dad, a war veteran, and a man carrying a secret no one would ever believe. He looked like an ordinary mechanic struggling to raise his 8-year-old son, Noah. But what people didn't know was that Ethan had powers beyond human comprehension. Powers he never wanted, but could never ignore. Before we dive deep, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, because this story will take you on an emotional ride about courage, love, and redemption you won't forget. It all began one quiet morning when Ethan dropped Noah off at school. Life was simple, almost peaceful. But destiny doesn't wait for peace, it strikes when you least expect it. On his way home, Ethan saw flashing red alerts on the huge TV screens downtown. Breaking news: CEO of Hartwell Industries, Sarah Blake, kidnapped in broad daylight by unknown mercenaries. The world gasped. Sarah wasn't just another businesswoman, she was known for her kindness, for helping veterans find work, for funding schools in poor neighborhoods. But now, she was gone, and the city was frozen in fear. Ethan's instincts kicked in. His chest tightened, he remembered the battlefield, the chaos, the helplessness. He could have ignored it, gone home to his son. But deep down, he knew what had to be done. He looked at his reflection in a puddle and muttered, "Not again, I can't lose another innocent life." That night, while the police scrambled for clues, Ethan stood on the city rooftop. He closed his eyes. The rain stopped mid-air, droplets hanging frozen like time itself. His eyes glowed faintly blue. The world slowed, his hearing sharpened, every sound, every heartbeat in the city, like a map in his mind. He caught it, a faint cry from a warehouse near the docks. Without hesitation, he leapt from the rooftop, landing silently like a ghost. Inside that cold, dim warehouse, Sarah was tied to a chair, bruised but defiant. "You won't get a penny from me," she spat at the men circling her. One of them smirked, "Oh, we're not after money, darling. We want your tech. That clean energy reactor. The one that could make the oil barons lose billions." He chuckled darkly. "We're just shutting it down, permanently." Suddenly, a gust of wind swept through the place, knocking weapons off the table. Lights flickered, and a deep, commanding voice broke through the chaos. "Step away from her." They turned. Ethan stood in the shadows, dripping wet, eyes glowing. "Who the hell are you?" one shouted. "Just a dad trying to make the world safer for his kid," Ethan said coldly, and then he moved. It was a blur. Bullets flew, but stopped mid-air before they reached him. With a wave of his hand, the gunmen were thrown back like rag dolls. Metal twisted, chains shattered, and within seconds, silence filled the room. Only Sarah's breathing and the distant thunder remained. She stared at him in awe as he cut her free. What are you?" she whispered. He looked down, avoiding her gaze. "Just someone who couldn't stand by." When they stepped outside, the first rays of dawn broke through the clouds. Sarah, still trembling, turned to him. "Why risk your life for me? You don't even know me." Ethan gave a faint smile. "Because once, someone risked theirs for me. I couldn't save her. I won't make that mistake again." Days later, news spread that Sarah Blake was safe, and the men responsible had mysteriously vanished. She didn't tell anyone who saved her, but she couldn't stop thinking about him. About the man who fought like a storm but spoke like someone broken inside. A week passed before she found him again. He was fixing an old truck outside his small garage, Noah sitting nearby, drawing superheroes on a notepad. Sarah stepped closer, smiling softly. "Looks like I found one of your heroes," she said, showing Noah's drawing of a man with glowing blue eyes. Ethan looked up, startled. Noah beamed. "That's my dad. He's the strongest man in the world." Ethan chuckled awkwardly, rubbing the back of his neck. Sarah's heart melted. She saw not just power, but a man who carried pain, love, and an unbreakable spirit. They talked for hours that day. She learned about his life, the missions, the loss of his wife, how he left the military to protect his son from danger. In return, she shared how she built her company to honor her late father, who always said, "Use power to protect, not control." They were two broken souls mending through understanding. But peace doesn't last forever. A shadow from Ethan's past emerged, a man named Marcus, a former ally who had also gained powers but chose darkness. He wanted Sarah's reactor for his own plan, to create a world ruled by the superpowered. When Marcus attacked, chaos erupted once again. The sky turned red as buildings shook. Ethan stood in front of Sarah and Noah, his powers flaring brighter than ever. "You want power," he shouted, "then feel what real strength is, protecting those who can't fight back." The battle was fierce, lightning, shockwaves, shattered steel. But Ethan's heart was stronger. Using every ounce of his energy, he sealed Marcus inside a sphere of frozen time, saving the city but nearly costing his own life. When he collapsed, Sarah caught him, tears streaming down her face. "Don't you dare leave me now," she whispered. "Noah needs you, I need you." His faint smile returned. "Yes, I finally got to be her hero," he murmured before losing consciousness. Weeks later, Ethan woke up in a hospital. Sarah was there, holding his hand. Noah slept beside the bed, his small hand clutching his father's arm. "You scared us," Sarah said softly. "You saved us all, and this time, I'm not letting you walk away." Ethan turned to her, his voice weak but full of warmth. "You deserve someone normal, Sarah." She smiled through tears. "Normal is overrated. I'd rather have someone real, someone brave." And for the first time in years, Ethan allowed himself to feel peace. The hero, the father, the man who lost everything, had finally found a reason to live again.